This is Toyin Umasiri. Feel free to call me Coach Toyin. How are you? Hope you had a great weekend. I just dropped a new article this morning, and I'm just here to have a discussion on that topic. So, the question I asked was, are you a go getter? Okay. So, the article is really just challenging us. First of all, asking a question, and really, also, it's about personal responsibility that we all have to go after whatever it is we want. So I started the article with, are you a go getter? And then I said in my books, right, after working with people all over the world, people in government, people in business, hi, good to see you. Thank you for being here, right? After working with those people, government, leadership, business, grassroots, up and down the chain, I would say there are two groups of people in my books, right? It would be two groups of people. Group A would be people who go after what they want, right? Because we all have desires, right? We all have aspirations, we all have desires, strong desires, right? But the two groups of people are, one, people you would actively see, actively engaged, daily pursuing what they want, going after what they want, putting all their energy, their focus, their commitment towards pursuit. They're in pursuit of something. And the second group of people that are not in pursuit. Those are the two groups of people. It's either you're running after something or you're just like, you're good. You're good to go. And what I also shared in that article is that those two groups, people who are going after something, maybe they've set goals for themselves, whether in business, whether in life, you can just see a certain type of energy about them, right? They're the high achievers, they're the go-getters, there's just, energy. You can feel it. And then the second group, really, that energy, you can find that energy. It's just, I'm good, I'm fine, leave me alone, I'm satisfied, I'm okay. Those two groups of people. And I said in the article that there are two mindsets powering those two groups. And you can go to toyinumesiri.academy and join to access the full article and my over 300 plus resources when it comes to business development, workbooks, on and on, right? So I have an entire school, business school for entrepreneurs, and it's also about success, because one of the things I say is, if you want to build a successful business, the first thing you need to build is a successful mindset, right? Because at the end of the day, you have to bring yourself to that business. The business is always a reflection of you, right? So, oh, Pastor Cornelius, good to see you. Hello, coach. I cannot wait to take a course. Yes, Tony, you messy. We go in there. There's tons of resources. What I've also done in the academy is to create different spaces. So there's a free space. I call it the free public library. So there are things like articles that I drop every week from time to time, different resources, my TV show that I put in. That's like more of an all way. You can come in, check us out, explore what it is that is available there. And then we have our full academy, the 10-week business accelerator. And then I also have my coaching community. So as we're moving into 2023 right now, I'm taking on more group support, those I'm supporting in a group, right? So it's about sales, it's about marketing training, it's also about mindset. So there are three parts we are going through in the coming year. Just like this past year was laying the foundation, right? The 10-week business accelerator. It actually took us a year to run through those programs. But those who are joining right now, you can, the reason I call it an accelerator is you can catch up on something that it took us a year, a year to go through. So you can catch up and really enroll and go through the 10-week program. And the 10-week literally is like night school. You're going to study your way. You're going to invest in developing the skills. First journey is the game plan, mindset coaching program, personal development program, personal leadership commitment, strategy, and then you go into business accelerator, branding, marketing, right? Customers, right? These are things like I shared. It took us 12 months to literally run through that program. As example, earlier in the year, for customers alone, we spent 5 weeks. So you can now complete a 5-week, right, program in a week. right? Because it's now accelerated, it's condensed. So go check it out. Okay. So what was I saying before Pastor Cornelius interrupt? It's good. I love the engagement. So what I was trying to say was the two different mindsets that powers the group A, those who go after what they want, and then group B, those who you would find they're not in pursuit of much, right? The first group believe that they can, so they do. There's nothing in their mental space that is saying you cannot go after your dreams. If you want it, go for it. Discipline yourself, develop the skills you need for success, invest your way to success. The world is a free space. Please pursue, right? So the first group, there's no limitation, there's no limiting belief, there's nothing in their mind that tells them success doesn't belong to them. So you see them conquer. And this mindset, it starts with the individual, but this mindset, you will also find it in nations, national strategies. So because I work with, when it comes to policies and all of those things as well, I've studied economic development, I've studied all these things. What I'm sharing with you, that even in the individual mindset of an individual, you can also extrapolate it to regions of the world, of certain regions who believe they can and they do, and certain regions who believe they can't and they don't, right? So there's a collective mindset that could be, that can spread in a community, spread in a nation. These things are toxic. Just watch out for it. And in the individual, your own personal economics, right? Your own personal economics. There's the government, there's the city, there's the state, there is your community, everybody around you. What governs economic development in your city is part of this thing. Because if you find yourself in a city of people who say, I can't, then they can't, right? Nothing is growing in that space. Food desert, nothing, 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 right? And then there are other communities that believe they can and they do. So this reminds me of, when I lived in Arkansas, Bentonville, working for the world's largest company. I'm telling you, that city is a city of success. The city that houses the world's largest company, Fortune 1, $500 billion plus annual sales and revenue. That is the city and the region of the people who believe they can and they do every single day. Every single day. The energy in that city, I miss it. Like, you can wake up in the morning with an idea. Before you go to bed at night, you can network your way to success. There's somebody there ready to help you prototype. There's somebody there ready to help you design. The supply chain, logistic, like in that space, there is nothing that tells you you cannot do anything in Bentonville, Arkansas. Because that community powers the world's largest corporation, is the community of can do. And the energy, there's a spirit of abundance, spirit of innovation. Listen, if you're living in that community, everybody's alive, everybody's striving, everybody's pushing. Everybody you see in the store, whether they're wearing flip-flops or not, they are in motion, they are advancing, they are changing the world. That's where I come from. Because then I move toward, different parts of the world, and you go, oh, you move into another city. Energy flat. Who is doing what? What's going on? You know, who can I call? Oh my goodness, what's going on? Yes, those cities where you cannot find any answers. Nobody knows where to find business support. Nobody knows if you need a branding, a marketing agency. Nobody knows who is doing what. Everybody's just like, listen, I've seen the difference. That there are some communities, if you just say, hello, can I? Yes, connecting you. They're like, yes, have you spoken to this person? Let me send you an email. Pam, pam, pam. Where's the phone number? Things are happening, things are moving. I remember several years ago, I attended Collision Summit. So there was a side event called Ecosystem Leaders. So people from around the world, they were leading startup ecosystem. So governments, investors, technical experts, community leaders, we all came together and we're just sharing best practices, right? From Toronto to Germany, like every part of the world. We met in New Orleans several years ago. And it was just fascinating to me that there were actually several cities, right, around the world whose people, grassroots, are actively involved in economic development, not just the state, not just the city, not just the mayor. Is that when you leave everything up to the government, you are leaving so much up. Is that the engagement, the private sector mobilization, the private sector mobilizing itself for economic advancement is the ultimate game changer, because government will not build business for you. But government at best can support you with resources, but they will still even need private sector stakeholders like us to come and teach you, to come and guide you, to come and coach you. They can pay us to teach you, but at the end of the day, the business community anywhere in the world is responsible for dynamic economic development. The government can do all the tax breaks they want, incentivize all kinds of things, but if the private sectors do not get this thing right, nothing much happens. So anyway, I know I just went all out there, but let me bring it back home to my article, just asking, are you a go-getter? And I wrapped up that article with 5 things go-getters do differently, right? I wrote 5, so you can go grab that and check it out, toyinumesiri.academy, and read those 5 things to say, if you're a go-getters, these are 5 things they do differently. So look around you. Are you in a community of go-getter? Are you one? And have you invested yourself to join a community of go-getters? Right? It's just a question, guys. It's a question. And I want to create awareness for you. So you look around you, because I've experienced some incredible, I'm telling you, like walking at the headquarters of Fortune One and seeing that energy. There's nothing you cannot do in the world. That energy it gives you the high. It just makes you go out there and just be the best version of yourself, which is what is available to everybody. But there's a belief and a mindset that over time people buy into that is extremely limiting. So watch out for that, and then go check out the 5 things that go getters do differently. Because one of the quotes I also extracted from that article, I said, the only people who get what they want out of life are go getters. So it's about your desire, your wants, your aspirations. I don't know what you want. I don't know if your dreams is to build a business. I don't know if you want a next promotion. I don't know. You know what you want, right? You do. The question is, are you in ferocious pursuit? I just said ferocious because I always use the analogy of the lion. Listen, if the lion wants breakfast, you can't, nothing can stand in the between the lion and the breakfast, right? But if you let anything stand in your own way on your own personal journey, right? One of the strategies in the game plan, my success mindset coaching program, one of it is removing barriers to your success. Is that successful people, those who go after what they want and they get it, it's not that they don't have things in their way, but they know how to walk around it, over it, under it, right? They will swim to the ends of the earth. Like if they want something, they will track you down and they will get it and they will come home and eat the trophies of success, or carry the trophies and eat the, what do you call it? The victory, different spoils of victory. Because that's how if you want the spoils of victory, it is good, really, guys. Then you have to go out there and keep on showing up for yourself, for your needs. Because if you're not, they are definitely living the life and the dreams of and aspirations of other people. And nothing wrong with that. Just make sure you're doing it consciously. So that's all I wanted to share today. So again, I released a new article today. I'm a prolific writer. I've written like countless number of articles. My book is out. Go check it out, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. So if you're an entrepreneur or trying to be one or considering being one, just go to Amazon.com, type in Toyin Umesiri, order a copy. I'm also hosting discussion for some of my other books. So I actually have other books in my academy. Um, one of them is Marketing for Christians. Last week I did an introduction. It's available in the free space. The coming year, there are 14 strategic communication principles for Christians that I'm going to be teaching based on that book. That book hasn't been released to the public. So anytime I release books like this one, the first few months, it's only available to my community members. So we host discussions, right? They give feedback, they ask questions, they have the author relationship. Because where else can you go talk to an author of a book? But that's one of the things I provide in my academy. So we also have a space. I launch a book club. So also we'll be discussing this book right there. And then the Marketing for Christian book, 14 strategic principles for delivering your message effectively. We're also all through next year. There are 14 principles, but every month or every 2 months, I'll take maybe 2, 3 principles. We'll discuss it. I'll teach it. Because when I say I teach, you need to start implementing these strategies in your business. Because listen, the old things people used to do is not working anymore. The world is moving and has shifted in a new dimension. And those who want to be relevant today and tomorrow must apply new strategies. It's about skills. You must acquire new skills. You must adopt new mindsets for success, right? You must build systems for expansion. You must build structures in your business for you to be able to compete and scale to the next level. So the basic things that I talk about and I teach, and there's an entire 10-week accelerator in my academy. It's about systems, it's about skills, it's about mindset, it's about strategies. Listen, those things are game changers, right? You operate based on what you know, the knowledge that you have, right? And if you don't expose yourself to new information, new knowledge, you cannot develop new skills, right? Yesterday, I was talking briefly to someone. I said, listen, if you are still relying on the degree, what they taught you 20 years ago in school, you're running your life, you're powering your life with 20-year-old information. You do realize that every day something innovative is happening in the world, in your space, even in your space. So the question is, if you're a go-getter, how are you keeping abreast transformation and innovation in your space? But if you're just telling me you put on your wall the degree they gave you 20 years ago, if that's all you know, guys, that's what I call left behind. I've written about this. If you're already in my academy, you know, you already know me. But if this is your first time, you're welcome. I welcome you gently. But I am fierce and clear in my messaging. I'm direct. So that when you walk away, you will not go, what was Toyin trying to say? No, 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 no. You will say, Toyin said. I want people to be able to quote and say, Toyin said ABCD. So I try to speak clearly. And in fact, on that note, there's one other thing I've observed. So I teach a lot of stuff. One of the things, the red flags. So my people who follow me, I try to tell you, watch out for this. One of the red flags I just observed this weekend, and I put it out there. If you're not following me on social media, you probably haven't seen this. And I said, be careful. People are rushing you on social media. Let me quickly share this and then I'll close out. I've observed this behavior on social media, that the way content is being presented is actually resulting in anxiety for people. You don't know where your anxiety is coming. Is that there's a certain type of tempo and energy being dropped on people, right? And this thing is primarily maybe driven through, more content, and content creators now are trying to pack so much stuff in 30-second clips and 60-second clips. And literally, many people are engineering 30 seconds messaging, 60-second messaging, and you can hear them in the reels, particularly in the reels. You can just hear people like really speaking fast. And you're like, gosh, what's like, slow down. Like, I found myself like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, don't bother my calm, peaceful. I was like, I was put off. Like I'm just saying it, watch out for this, particularly in reels. You can just see people speaking fast. They're trying to get everything into 30 seconds because the systems are hurrying them up. But you, the consumer of that content, if you're not careful, they will raise your blood pressure. Like, listen, I will say it. Watch out for this kind of things. They're dropping things that is resulting in anxiety, fear, all kinds of stuff. That stuff is toxic. There's toxic content that after watching it, if it doesn't make you happy, calm, rested, it's toxic to your well-being. It is. So watch out for it. It's like slow down. Success has a different pace. Listen, for you to learn, for you to calm down. That's why when we do classes, when I do events, I take people to a quiet place. When I'm hosting my life, that's why I'll take my time, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'll relax. I'll say whatever it is I have to say so that anybody watching, anybody listening, you can just listen at your own pace. Some people tell me, they're listening to me in their kitchen. They're listening to me while they're driving. Some, I get it. Success has its own rhythm, it has its own pace. Don't subject yourself to this toxic bombardment as if that makes you jump up and like, listen, be in charge, get in the driver's seat of your life. Don't get anybody running you off the road, telling you something is this, there's fire on the mountain. It's that energy of the political seasons when everybody's like, vote here, vote here, vote there. The noise is too much. Anyway, if you can't tell, I'm like, I love rest because that's when you can think, that's when you can strategize, that's when you can process your environment, that's when you can see clearly, that's when you can pray, that's when you can meditate, that's when you can plan. I have books, all kinds of stuff on my desk. I'm writing, I'm doing stuff, I have paper all over, I'm thinking. You need quiet, rest. That's why even in my academy, the energy is study, calm down, read this, meditate, think. What are you going to do different? That's why I always say print those things out, right? Sit down, find your nice, comfortable couch, think. That's how God leads us to a place of success, not all this stuff. So if you stay on social media too long, please just know what you're consuming. Be careful. Like, this is my book that I've been going through. I don't know if you see it, right? So whenever I'm doing my classes or courses, let us all calm down. Let's find quiet spaces where we can think. But social media, listen. Okay, that's it. I just had to share that grievance I have with people putting things out there. In fact, another thing that's also, I have many thoughts. I'm a prolific writer. I'll put them all together. But another thing I saw is that it's a trend and an observation. Some people, again, in the attempt to create more content, they will put certain things and you read page one, page two, more, more, more. And I'm like, enough. This is too much for now. The way people are presenting data, they are overwhelming you because they are not teaching you. They are literally overwhelming you because they are trying to compete. So, because I think through anything, so I remember like, okay, this person posted, I'll slow down, I'll read. Okay, let me make sense. Let me make sure I understand. Then the next, then by the third point, this person is still going on and on. I'm like, okay, no, 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 no. Nobody's communicating to this content creator. Like, move people in a way and write in a way that they can they can enjoy food, right? At least that's what I do. Other people do other stuff out there. I'm just saying what I do. If I'm serving you food, a meal, I try to present it in ways where you can eat it, think, process, right? And then, because out of that processing is what gives birth to transformation. When we don't think, when we don't personalize, when we don't process, the mind cannot use it. It just goes out the system without any use. And I say, like, the human mind, when you sleep at night, it's trying to process everything you read, everything you studied, everything you saw, everything you experienced during the day. Your mind, the way we are shaped as human in the nighttime, is trying to file everything so that you can make use of it tomorrow to give you direction, right? But today, when people are on social media, they're just consuming things that have not been processed, things that are overwhelmed, things that are rushed. And in the moment, you can say, oh, that's good. But wake up the next day, ask yourself the last 24 hours, everything you read, everything you skipped, everything you skimmed, everything you saw on social media, which one can you remember right now? What can you remember from yesterday? And trust me, if you can't remember it, it's useless. Like that means you have no you can it can't benefit your life. It can't benefit you to move forward, to progress. And when there's no transformation, when there's no change in behavior, you repeat old patterns. And the old patterns people are repeating, it's creating the same reality for them. So if you want to change your reality, invest in places like my community. Obviously, I'm going to tell you about it because that's what we've done. Calm down. You're going to read, you're going to study, you're going to process, right? And then you're going to advance yourself. Going to get new skills, new ways of seeing the world, new perspective, right? Awareness. That way you can lead yourself out of wherever you are right now to where you want to be. So ultimately, it's about self-leadership, but I'm also seeing that there's a conditioning. If you are not aware of it, that boy, it is toxic. That's the only word I can use for it. But anyway, I observe, I teach, I coach, I do all these things. So I'm calling it out so that you can really, really, really just be on the lookout for that thing, because there's a world that benefits from more content, but more content doesn't mean more results for you. By consuming more content that doesn't give you direction, that doesn't teach you how to, that doesn't guide you, that God doesn't lead you, that doesn't challenge you in deep transformative ways, they don't yield much. So watch out for that. Again, that's I just tell people, watch out. Do you see this? Like, because I'm leading myself, and I'm saying, if you want, follow. We're going somewhere. So that's it. On that note, thank you so much. God bless you all, and Merry Christmas as well. It's been a pleasure to continue to serve you all. God bless you. Bye. Let me play my outro, and I'll see you around.